The Dark Shader and the Polar Core are the two best left-handed gauntlets in the entirety of Souls RNG, but they are both very close to each other in this list, and also these tiers don't really make sense. So in this video, I'm going to be going over which is the best left-handed gauntlet with the Genesis drive, because last time I did one of these videos was 6 or 7 months ago and Dark Shader was the best. So it's time to update it with some maths to prove that one of these gauntlets is better and an AFK. See which gauntlet cooks for me the most. And as you can see, my main account and my alt account already have their gauntlets equipped. So first of all, let's just go over these really quickly. So the Polite Core, a tier 8. This just gives you immediately, right, straight off the bat, 500% luck. And every single 25 rolls, it gives you 5 skips every single time that happens, which is pretty crazy. Makes you roll pretty quick, which is why most rolls leaderboards need it, and you were able to get it for free during last year's Christmas update, basically free at least. So now let's look at the Dark Shader. Now this is a tier 8, so it's a tier less than Polite Core, but this gives you quite a lot of luck, and I'm not sure what this cube is, but basically every single 5 rolls is the bonus roll, or every 4 rolls and the 5th one is, with that bonus roll being just normal 2x luck. But after 20 rolls, you enter this weird dark stage where all of your rolls get multiplied by 2.5 times. So the normal roll is 2.5 times luck and the bonus rolls 5 times luck, which is pretty crazy honestly. And yeah, that just leads to insane amounts of luck. It's not as much roll speed, but its luck is crazy. But yeah, that's a quick synopsis of what these gauntlets do. Right before we get into the maths, I do want to ask you guys to please subscribe, because it is a dream of mine to reach 100,000 subscribers, and we're only about a quarter away of that. And well, I am doing these maths and AFK videos for you guys to know which gauntlet to AFK with, or if it's worth using the other. So if you guys could just subscribe, comment, like, share the video, and turn on notifications, it would be greatly appreciated. And of course, I'll give away an ungodly amount of game passes if we reach 100k subs. And now, I guess it's time to get into the math. So if you guys want to skip this boring stuff and the explanation of why what I say makes sense, skip to the timestamp above here. But I do recommend watching just so you see how much better one of the gauntlets actually is. So in general, this luck is based off luck per second and luck per roll. So luck per roll is the average amount of luck including bonus roll and all boosts that you get just by rolling here. Pressing this roll button, it does not account for roll speed, but luck per second accounts for that. It is basically how much luck you get by rolling continuously each second. And this is the most accurate value, and I'll use this to create an estimate of how much luck we'll use during this AFK for each account. So what boost will we actually be using during this AFK? So let's actually equip them, and we will also be using them in the maths. So let's start off with 3 godly potions right here. 124 speed and haste trees, which will give us some pretty good luck. 60 zombies and haste 3s, which will just boost our luck even more. And finally, we'll just throw in like 600 lucky potions, because honestly, why not? And let's just really quickly look at what this luck value on this board will be, just so we can create a quick estimate. So we seem to be having 33.93 luck right now, but this is not really accurate. I'll tell you why later. And with Dark Shader, weirdly enough, it's lower at 27.43, and that's because this does not account for bonus rolls. It's just how much luck you get each roll normally, like this. And that just is not accurate. So let's just stop our rolling on this account, and also we'll be using 250% luck blood train plus for like 10 hours to get even more luck. And let's use the exact same boost on this account. So let's just get the luck per roll. So first of all, what we want to do is define how much just luck we get without any of the gauntlets. So 12, which is the Genesis, plus 1 because, well, we're adding the 1 luck that we had at the beginning, and of course all of our boosts that give us luck. Then G. Now this is the Polite Core, and this is 9 normal rolls to X, because this is a roll and each interval on this x-axis is a roll. The luck 81.4 plus 5, which is the 500% luck you get every time you roll. Then plus the 2 times bonus roll, which we say that's just 2 rolls, but we average it in the end over 10 to make it 10 rolls worth of luck. Then we move on to the Dark Shader, which both of these of course they're multiplied by VIP plus, because we're accounting for every boost in this AFK. So 4 times the normal rolls, which is 4 rolls and then 1 bonus roll at the end, plus the 2 times that you get at full cycle with 2.5x look, divided by 30 because that's how much rolls it takes to finish the Dark Shader off. And let's just go over the values now that I've done the app. G is the Polite core and H is the Dark Shader, and you can already tell Polite core gives you 36.1 look per roll and Dark Shader already gives 47.4. So even without looking at the look per second, Dark Shader is better, and it usually is because we're not accounting for extra skips getting the Polite core, which means that you roll faster. And as you can see, this gets broken pretty quickly. That's all I can say. So now let's look over the look per second, and you might see that a lot of stuff is pretty similar here. We have the exact same amount of look being used, but the only difference is that this time we have the 1 normal roll speed plus the Genesis Drive roll speed, which is 100%, plus all of our boosts plus the bank, because we can't forget about that. Then we just find out the roll speed for a Dark Shader, which is the exact same, there's no change. And the roll speed for a Polite core, which is 30 rolls divided by the 25 normal rolls are divided by roll speed plus a half, because that's how fast 10 skips should take, because it quote unquote here sets the roll speed to 1000 times, which make it so that you roll once every 1/10 of a second. And then all that we do, we keep the look part the exact same, so this is basically that's it for the last one, but instead of just keeping out rolls, we actually multiply them by the amount of speed that we roll per second. So Polite core is multiplied by a bit more, and Dark Shader just multiply normally. And of course VIP plus. So that means that the difference becomes quite a bit different. And our look is also a lot higher because we roll like 3 times a second now. So 131.1 look with just the Polite core, and 152.6 look with the Dark Shader, which already gets pretty OP. And as you can see, there's also a graph here, but with blue being Dark Shader, but honestly, you guys can't really tell the difference. The y-axis is squashed together enough. That means with 10 hours with the Dark Shader, we are estimated to get about 5,492,869.2 look, and with the Polite core, we are estimated to get about 4,718,806.2 look, which is a lot, all I can say, but a lot less at the same time. So because with all this, Dark Shader is 16.4% better in this AFK at least. So honestly, now that we're done with that, we have our estimate of how much look we'll use, we might as well actually get the AFK. So let's stop our rolls and let's get everyone on this mountain, and we're going to have to AFK for a pretty long time because, well, we have to test as much as possible, and our cutscene skips will be set to 6,000, so the AFK test will only be adding every 6 million plus aura into the account of what auras we get, so keep that in mind. And of course, if you guys don't know, every single time we roll an aura, we add 1 point for every 100,000 rarity that aura has. So now my ult's here, my main's here, and let's just do something kind of goofy and turn this one into 2, because we're AFK with 2 accounts. So let's see how much rolls we start off on the alt account with Dark Shader. 52,345,190 rolls. And now my main account, on the other hand, starts off with 98,092,092 rolls. Nice, kind of. And well, that's nearly 100 million, so I'm going to be topping very soon. And honestly, I think it's now time to start because I've got school to do and kind of getting late. So honestly, let's just speedrun this as quick as possible. I have to get this going. Enable auto both as quickly as I can. Enable our auto roll on both accounts. We're rolling, yes. And now I guess the only thing that's left to do is to just hope that we cook. Oh well, all right, that's accurate now. So I'll see you guys in 10 hours. I will see which account cooked the most. And that was 10 hours of AFK using 2 gauntlets. And well, I was looking at the stat tracker during break and lunch, so all I can say is we got a few globals. And before we get into that, let's just go over all of these values. Let's see how much time everything rolled. Alright, so let's see. My main account, 98,220. Why am I still rolling? I swear I pressed the auto. Okay, this is goofy. Well, I'll just say 98,225,300 roll. My alt getting me to 52,460,577 rolls, which means that on my main in total, I have rolled 133,208 times, which honestly isn't even that bad, especially with only the skips from this. And also, of course, this prototype buff, which, yeah, there's a pretty weird way you get this. I'll talk about it a bit later because barely anyone realized. But my alt account in total did 150,387 rolls, which is why the extra 15,000 rolls in Polite Core can get you some good stuff. I mean, I don't know what I said, honestly. It just rolls leaderboard players see the extra rolls here. 15,000 might not seem like a lot, but it actually is, especially on these leaderboards. So, using the average luck per roll we got, let's find out how much luck we actually did on each account. So let's start off with my main right here. With its 36,1075 average luck per roll, including bonus roll. With all these rolls, we got a total of 4,809,807.86. And also, I'm beginning to feel a bit self-conscious. Don't get bored, please. This will end in like 2 seconds. And let's switch to the alt account. We're almost done, guys. Just 2 more seconds. Now this thing, let's see how much luck it got. With its 47.385 luck. Yeah, all I can say is this thing got me 5,467,612.995 luck. So yeah, all I can say is that with that, you can already tell that there's a clear winner, and that's the Dark Shade. This gauntlet in general, if you look at the raw luck, this gave me more luck. Like, I don't know, like 657,000 more luck, which is, yeah, that's a pretty big extra number there. So while editing this, I kind of realized that, well, I only ever showed the values with all the boosts equipped, which wouldn't really reflect real world performance if you're not using any boosts. So I decided to do some calculations off camera, and I find that the basic boosts with just having, well, bank and the 40% achievement luck, Polite Core gives 48.266 luck, with Dark Shader being 49.9284 luck, which is 3.4% better. But if you have the same amount of luck to both, Dark Shader becomes noticeably better than Polite Core. But by increasing the roll speed, Dark Shader becomes slightly better at Polite Core. But if you increase both, Dark Shader just becomes a lot better. So in general, with Genesis Drive, fact that when you had Neuralizer, you had to add more luck to make Dark Shader better, Polite Core is gone. But Genesis Drive gives so much luck that Dark Shader is better under all conditions. Sorry for the app, I just had to really quickly add this in, so it's more accurate. But of course, there's the auras that we got on each account, which, yeah, let's just go over those right now, guys. And let's start now. We got 1 whole Origin, 1 Hades from Hell, 2 Hyperbolts, which would have been cool that I didn't have to spend 170 Heavenly for like 2 of these, which I got in like 10 hours of AFK a couple of videos ago. A single Nautilus Lost, which honestly, I'd say that's kind of underrated, even though it's a bit both. But it's a 1 in 7 minutes. 2 Harnessed, which, I don't know, I'm getting sick of this aura, honestly. I just keep on getting it with popping, so I don't want it. 2 Stargazers, which I guess it looks pretty cool. A Sailor, a Sirius, which, Sirius. An Arcane Legacy, which is a definite 10 million plus. A Lullaby with its fake luminosity 1 billion plus jump scare that can just go away. A big jump to Runic, which is probably why maybe I should have lowered the cutscenes, even though at least my aura inventory isn't destroyed. And we jump up the cards, which we don't get too often on the channel. It's all those in between 10 million plus or 100 million plus auras that you kind of forget about, even though they're quite high rarity. Then Radiant, which I regret the before, but I got this Breakthrough, which really sucks, honestly. I know it's 1 in 20 million inside biome now. It's not 1 in 10 million, but still, it just annoys me to get this thing, man. Now we bump up again to Archangel. And here's the funny thing. This account got it too, but I just didn't show it off video yet. And honestly, this is a classic. That's all I could say. I mean, I got 3 Archangels the last like 2 days across these accounts, but honestly, no complaints. And unfortunately, if I scroll up here, nothing else has changed. Still got my 3 raw pixelations for some reason and 2 impressions on it. And while I'm at it, we might as well talk about some of these auras that I got by buying them from Jack. Dreadsea, this array of reality, that looks so sick for basically just being able to get it from AFKing a few days 24/7. And hopefully I get this Vampire Hunter soon so I can make a popping video with it, even though you guys are probably getting sick of those. They also added a new aura, lunar cultist, at some point that I never mentioned in a video. Okay, cool. I even got sinister now. That's just sick. I mean, that didn't show up on, probably showed up on, oh, carousel, another aura that I actually, well, bought from Jack. This also looks pretty sick, honestly. I'm happy to have a lot of these auras before they all disappear forever. It's basically just a really, really cursed looking carousel that your demented, like, 11-year-old brother would draw for some reason. There's also laments. Oh, if that's, wait, no, I swear I bought this from Jack. Why does it have a rarity? I actually don't believe that I rolled this. It doesn't say anywhere around here. Yeah, I think I remember buying this. Okay, but the aura still looks absolutely insane. It's like Cryptfire Ultimate Edition. And at some point they added Shucks, which that kind of sounds goofy, honestly. That sounds like that one NPC cartoon character. But that's all for this account. Let's switch to the main, where we can already see all the auras here. This got us a Hades, 2 Anubises, which is kind of nice, I guess. 1 Nautilus lost. I repeat, 1 Nautilus. So what happened to this thing? Why did it get literally... who stole all of its detail? Oh, a Helios, which honestly, I think it's a bit broken, but I guess it's kind of nice. Another Arcane Legacy. Okay, don't tell me I got the same aura, literally the same auras on both accounts. That would be sad. Never mind, we got 2 Chromatics, which, yeah, I like the cutscene a lot, so at least you guys got to see that. You got a Virtual Fatal Error, which I swear I spent like 100 so the heavilies to not even be able to get one of these at some point. Well, I was trying to get Atlas, and great to see that's broken as well. Now, we even got Twilight Iridescent Memory, which you could get for like 1 in 6 million. But honestly, at least it has a high rarity that I could say on here. So now, the Obligatory Radiant, you guys already saw this. This account has Arcadia as well, so at least it's equal. But honestly, because we got so many globals, I feel like I might not include them in the total count, because globals are kind of hard to come by, and the rarities can really skew the ratings of points. So I might not include them just to make the video a bit fair. Even though if it were to be ultimately fair, I'd lower the cutscene skip, but just for you guys' sake, I kept it a bit higher. And now, an aura that I've never ever had on this account, and also has never looked this bad. Chill Seer. Yup, I got this, and I think I got it breakthrough. Okay, at least I can see it well on this count. While this thing looks pretty cool, it gave the Snowy Biome a purpose outside of winter, there's one issue. Corporate tells you to find the difference between that and this. Okay, why are these auras so broken? Probably because I'm using 2 accounts, but yeah, it looks kind of like Shard Surfer. Maybe if you squint your eyes a little bit. Honestly, no points to complain. This aura looks pretty sick. Unfortunately, if you scroll up, nothing else has changed, which means somehow the account with the gauntlet that is worse for look actually got better auras. That's embarrassing, even though you guys will see the score in the actual video. But another cool thing is that I actually changed the cutscene, so you can basically see every single 1 million plus dollars roll right here in the chat, which is nice. But let me tell you guys how I got this prototype buff, and how this account, if I go into the cave here, has this thing, which lets me get 75,000 look for free. And even if you talk to Official, the kind of scammer, got a discount on basically everything for like 30 days of 20%, which is pretty good. And that is because Lime here, yup, right here, she actually has quests that aren't just to give her blood pack. But guess what, guys? To be able to even access these quests, let me show you this to you guys on my alt real quickly. If I buy a couple of blood packs, which I use all of them for the video, they're about to go away right now. Let's buy like 2. And let's talk to Lime right now. I'm not sure if she's up here now, but as you can see, she's telling me to use my blood pack. Let's just use them, because you have to use all of your blood packs to be able to get the quest stat thingy. And as you can see, I actually completed one of the quests, and I have to throw something at Official. That's... she might be scamming people with Oblivion potions, but that's a bit too far. But yeah, I finished the quest, and you have to use all of your blood packs just to be able to speak to Lime and get any quests from her. Honestly, that's pretty bad, and that's the main reason why I missed out on 20% roll speed. Until I checked the content creator channel and saw this video. Honestly, he even said in the update logs, I must have just thought it was bugged or something. But anyway, let's just throw a Pokeball like bubble thingy at her. There. Okay, that's just weird. All right, there we go. We got 20% discount on this account as well. And yeah, let me just show you guys the quest real quick by just like clicking on this continuously. Really, the only thing you have to do is just roll auras, and it's not that hard. This is the most difficult one. The maximum where you have to roll is Astral and Galaxy. You're able to do this pretty quickly, honestly. But anyway, that's all for the video. Honestly, that AFK was pretty good, and all that did was just show me that Dark Shader is better than Polite Core, which could be obvious to some, but not obvious to everyone. But anyway, the percentage of which gauntlet is better is about the same. But please like, subscribe if you guys want to see more of these comparison AFKs, and to cook with this Dark Shader, which is best with Genesis Drive confirmed. And well, goodbye.